Do you know any bad cuss words?
You'll be mad at me.
No.
Oopsie daisy.
Oh my goodness.
What the gosh?
What is it?
What the gosh?
Okay.
And what the god?
Oh my goodness.
Well, did you be mad at me?
No.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Oopsie daisy.
What are you broadcasting on?
Broadcasting live.
Trying to break into broadcasting?
Very committed to broadcasting excellence.
Maybe I could be like an announcer.
You know, they tend to give those jobs to people that are in broadcasting.
What happens now?
The Homer Broadcasting System is on the air!
Yay! Yay. Okay, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Alicia. Top of the morning to you. Hope you're feeling well today. It's a physical day. Like, not really ailments. Like, I feel fine. I don't have anything going on today. Freshly shorn. Ka-chow. It's like Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow. You ought to see me mid-afternoon on a hot day. That's really when the ka-chow kicks in. But anyway, right off the bat. Good morning, Dennis. Hope you are feeling well today. My sister's having foot surgery today. What do you mean you can't post to some channel? You can post these nuts. My sister has foot surgery today. She's getting cadaver cartilage put into her foot, which is pretty cool. She'll have a zombie foot now. Layla has some zombie parts, which is cool. And so far, so good. So hooray for the medical technology to be able to do that. Appreciate your prayers and your good juju for my sis. And I got to take my son to the podiatrist today because his ingrown toenail came back. I will blame me and my genetics on that. 100%. It's my fault. So, alas, he will go today and get a little work done on his toe. Not a major thing like Jamie's whatsoever. So there's that. Good morning, Fredward. You light up the day. I don't know any more words to that. Hey, and then my dad texted me yesterday to say that he's got to go in and have some skin taken off on his face. He's got a little spot of cancer, you know. Got a little spot of the cancer. So they're going to go in there with a melon scooper and chonk it right out. You know, he had the option of doing that or like 20 radiation treatments. Lose a little bit of skin on your face or 20 radiation treatments. Isn't that a rhetorical process? And think of the cost difference too. Not that, you know, we insured all that, but just sheer cost difference between 20 radiation treatments or a nip it off with the fingernail clippers. You know what I mean? And Dr. Moon's doing it. I know he'll do a good job. But anyway, so he's going to get that done mid-October. My shoulder ached yesterday morning, but it feels okay now. So, good morning, Troy. You have zombie parts in your spine. Good stuff. It is pretty wild when you think of it. But I mean, and this is something I didn't mention on Monday. Organ donation. I'm a big fan of organ donation. You don't need your guts. You don't need your shit. Once you're dead, you're dead. And then parts is parts. Right? Remember them commercials? Parts is parts. That's it. You're done. All that's going to do is rot. If I die, you can use my body parts and make sure y'all empty my deep freeze and get all the cow parts out and give those to somebody. Same difference, except they're going to eat them. Somebody might be able to use my eyes. Somebody who used a coupon might get my liver. You know, that's important to me, to be an organ donor. As much shit I have accumulated in my house, I hate to be wasteful. I pack rat my body? No. I'm going to pass it out, please. It's amazing what they can do with organ donation. The reason I said I didn't mention something on Monday was because Sunday at SEMO Soccer, and a good game, ladies. It's a tough 4-3 loss, but 4-3 loss is 3 goals more than you've gotten all season. So good job. Sunday, we remembered Meg Herndon, who was a SEMO soccer player back in 2012. She was playing in 2012. She was tragically killed in an accident in 2012. She got hit on a scooter. And And she was an organ donor, and it was important to her. And her organs went on to save lives. And that's what happens with that. So whether it's a little nugget of cadaver biscuit that goes up in your foot or your back, or whether it's your freaking eyeballs that save somebody else's eyes, then good for you, okay? And if you believe that you have to have a complete body in the afterlife, this is just shell, right? This is like the snail goes, and then there's just the slug. That's where you're gonna be good there. You might go to heaven and have a Weird Al shirt on. Shit, it may be regulation. Dennis. All right. That's enough. That's my old guy talk. On the other side of the old guy talk, I'm going to be helping to MC a senior event today. It's a midweek blaster, as I said in the title. Let's charge those batteries and kickstart your little rock and roll hearts. I thought the face boy, Fred picks it up. Oh, that one, it got the distance. That's over the fence. That's a souvenir. It's National Apple Dumpling Day. You know what the Apple Dumpling Gang is? You're old. You're old. It's Apple Dumpling Day, though, and those are damn good. Good old apple dumpling. National and East Perry Community Fair this weekend. I bet you somebody's grandma made some apple dumplings for the East Perry Community Fair. National Professional House Cleaners Day. I am a national unprofessional house cleaner. Really just unprofessional. Not even really cleaning much. Although I did wipe down my cabinet doors yesterday, and I'm kind of proud of that. National Beignet Day. Sweets. And National Pet Bird Day. Did anybody go to the fair and see the pet bird people that were at the main entrance there on the north side? I didn't stop, but, I appreciate a good pet bird. If I had a pet bird, if I had my druthers of a pet bird, it would be a mynah bird or a crow. Probably a crow or a raven. Most likely a crow. Preference given to crow. That would be my pet. I don't really want a parrot. I don't want a parakeet. Trainable, genius level. I would have him do nefarious things for me. All right, let's get today's TIQ up. Good morning, friends and neighbors, local and beyond. I am glad you've joined me. Today's TIQ is sponsored by some travel agency. I don't know which one. Where the hell's my... Oh, there it is. Okay. Thus goes the TIQ. All right. Today's TIQ. Try it without Google. Elijah, should you be here this morning? Try some au natural guessing. Just for a little bit, if you feel compelled. There's no prize. Like, I'd use Google all day if there was like a gift card up for grabs or something, but I ain't got shit. I'll give you a spritz of the screen cleaner for effect. But today's TIQ, according to a percent of people hate being asked to do this. No! They respond angrily. 38% of them, which is not a majority, but it's a fair sampling. 1 out of 3, right? Good morning, Lorraine. Hope you're doing well this morning. I like your little ballet dancer there. Is that how we feel this morning? Are we feeling a bit spry for a Wednesday morning? Going to do a little pirouetting on the patio, perhaps? Fred, that you and Dennis may have comments of the day. Just back to back. Just toot. So guess away on the TIQ. We will continue with our birthdays. Happy birthday. Speaking of birds, look at these guys. Aren't they fun? Smile. Smile. Boy, that's a good guess. Not it, but that's a good guess. I like it. Marion Pringle, as he is known on Facebook. Happy birthday, sir. Thanks for all you do. You're an awesome human. What was the question? It's scrolling. 38% of people hate being asked to do this, according to a new survey. When it says according to a new survey, that makes me think, I wonder if it's something relevant to our current times. but I don't know that it is. But that's my instinctual thought, because I try to read into questions. Like on tests when I was a kid, I'd get through a lot of tests pretty easy because you could read into absolutes, right? You get a multiple choice question and you got a never in the question or an always. They're asking for absolutes, not typically what you get on multiple choice things. So then you could eliminate the nevers and the alwayses most of the time. Get you through tests, pop quizzes. Go to work. Help people move. Yes, Alicia, that's it. Help people move. 38% of us will just hate being asked, hey, man, what are you guys doing Saturday? Oh, well, it's the first weekend I've had free in forever. We're thinking about going to the river. Oh, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind helping me move. No. That's not a screenshot I want to see. I was rock and roll handing, not cupping the balls. But congratulations, Alicia got it. That's what it is. It's helped someone move. I didn't think that one would last very long. That's a really new survey, our old survey. Still applicable for 99% of us, I think. All right, so woot to you. Woot for Alicia. Oh, and I owe you this for effect. Jamie Sepulvado. Happy birthday to Jamie. Jamie and her sister grew up like pretty much the same age as me and my sister in the hills of Fruitland. And then we were in marching band together in college, and I got some on my lip. But happy birthday, Jamie. I hope it's a beautiful day. I hope the sun shines upon you and you are blessed with many gifts of love and admiration. David Sides, happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastic hump day birthday. It is Ryan Austin's birthday. Fellow marching band dad, happy birthday, sir. Hope you have a great day. Hope Ava gives you something cool that makes you say, "Ah, she does still love me." Teresa Burke, happy birthday to Teresa. Hope you have a great day. Just survived the SEMO District Fair to turn around for the East Prairie Fair this weekend. Always some fun, right? Them kiddos out there showing, I'm assuming, this weekend. But Teresa, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Don Gannum. Fortunately, statute of limitations have run out on pretty much anything he'd have on me, so happy birthday, Don. Party Brandy, as she is known on Facebook, the Brandalicious one, seamstress supreme and banger of bangs, and she hangs out with Nate. Happy birthday, Brandy. May his beard be clean and your excitement be titular. And a happy birthday to Carla King. Carla married Mark. Mark is funny, and so is Carla. And Carla's pretty. Mark lucked out. I would say Carla lucked out, but we know Mark was a king. That's his last name. But Carla, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Carla. Hooray. You guys should come down for the alumni band adventure at SEMO Homecoming. By the way, Michael Woodard usually pops in here like way late. He was one of my old school, very influential on me in my early college years. Kind of kept me on track. He was my FEO for the fraternity, and that means he kept us on track. Kept a little bit of a work ethic. Minuscule. But anyway, he's an alumni of the Golden Eagles Marching Band at SEMO, which is now just the SEMO Marching Band. They lost the Golden Eagles moniker, which I never really got why we had a different mascot than the school. I guess because at the time it was SEMO Indians, and the ladies were the Otakians, and you had to have something else Native American related, I guess, misappropriation and all that kind of stuff. Hi! Changed it to the Red Hawks. Interestingly enough, there was a chief that was in a tribe near here. It was Chief Red Hawk. We found that out after the fact. My buddy Jeremy did. All right. Patrick Mahomes turns 30 today. Gosh, guys, I feel so good to be turning 30. Good for you. Go eat some cereal. Rapper Flo Rida is 46. Want to hear that whistle, baby? Flo Rida, 46. Jimmy Johnson is 50. Jimmy Johnson of football, of sausage, of football? I don't know. No. Constantine Marlise is 50. Kyle Chandler is 60. Getting some milestone birthdays in today for these folks. Baz Luhrmann is 63. Who else? Rita Rudner is 72. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, a.k.a. Cassandra Peterson, is 74 today. And legendary coach Phil Jackson is 80. And Nothing More Freefall still makes me happy. I like this song. I'm going to turn it up where I can hear it in the background. And if you can hear it, cool. I don't care anymore. All right, so there's our birthdays. Let's move along. What's going on today? We're going to be talking to Stone Richards, of course, with more boring weather forecast. Oh, shit, I didn't put my... Where's my slides? Whoops. I forgot a couple things. Hang on, I got to fix that. I mean, I'll go ahead and change this over real quick. Just for transitional sake. But I forgot to put my slides for today in real quick. So give me just a sec. Free Fall OBS September 17th. That's today. Drag, drop, select, resize to fit. So anyway, being that I'm old, today we're going to talk about stuff that used to be just your average, ordinary, this is what we did every day kind of stuff. And a little nostalgia. But things we don't normally think about. And then we're also going to talk about how to make a good first impression. This is something I touched on, I don't know, months and months ago. But lately, we got a lot of people that are starting to look for new work. And maybe you've been in a comfort zone with a job for so long that you wear Weird Al shirts to work every day, and sometimes you don't shave. However, today I did. Thank you. I didn't want to scare the seniors at this Best Years Living Expo that I got to go help MC at. So the head is freshly shorn. The neck has been trimmed. Nary a blade has touched me. Just my Norelco 1 or whatever the hell it's called. All right, so moving on. Today in history. Football and sausage. Why not both? I mean, usually it is, right? Just a little sausage cut in the esophagus. We'll be all right. It was on this date in 1787 the United States Constitution was signed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yep, the then capital. Philly, 1787, born and raised. The Constitution right there, got signed. John Hancock took up a whole bunch of space, and they're like, really, dude? What a dick. 1920, speaking of football sausages, the NFL was founded on this date 105 years ago. Nannernet, nannernet. I'm going to leave that to mystery, Fred. Leave that to mystery. It was on this date in 1960 that the Loretta Lynn appeared for the first time on the Grand Ole Opry stage. 1960. She would join the Opry 2 years later. Sweet, sweet coal miner's daughter. How many of you have never seen Coal Miner's Daughter, starring Tommy Lee Jones, Loretta Lynn, about Loretta Lynn's life story? If you've not seen Coal Miner's Daughter, I task you with this. Or we'll go to Fist City. I love it. Oh, I'm actually wearing green shorts, Fred. Not that green. I'm not golfing. They're more like a army green, I guess. I don't know. Dark. 1973, Billy Joel sits down, hits the record button. Ding, 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 ding. He records Piano Man, 1973. 9 months later, I was born. Just saying. 1976, NASA unveiled the first space shuttle, appropriately named the Enterprise. Sissy Spacek as Loretta. Yeah, what did I say? Starring Loretta Lynn. You know what I meant. Spacek. Yeah, Sissy Spacek. And there's no pig's blood dumped on her in this one either. So if you're not into that, it's cool. Spielberg or Stephen King didn't have anything to do with Coal Miner's Daughter. Rita Rudner is still alive. I know. 1978, Battlestar Galacta aired for the first time on ABC. Beady, 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 beady. Ah, man, when I was a little kid, I love Battlestar Galacta. And a little robot teddy bear thing he had. I wanted one of those so bad. 1983, the first African American to become Miss America, Vanessa Williams. 83 was a year of change. What else happened in 83? Oh, there was the debut of a little show called Star Search. Stone Richards was there. It debuted on CBS, hosted by Ed McMahon. Ha, ha, ha. The TV talent competition, right, of all time. And it spawned a lot of stars out of Star Search. One of my favorite country bands, Sawyer Brown, was a Star Search band. I vividly remember their performance on Star Search because he had such a clean voice. I loved his voice. I was like, I was a little kid, but I was like, I like this band. But future superstars that started out on Star Search of all places, Justin Timberlake. Gonna rock your body. Britney freaking Spears. Alanis Morissette, Jessica Simpson, Christina Aguilera, Tiffany, LeAnn Rimes, Usher, Aaliyah, Destiny's Child, Sawyer fucking Brown. Lots of good artists came out of Star Search. And reach for the stars and catch them. Saluting you, Ed McMahon. I learned to be a coal miner's daughter. The little beady, 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 beady. Oh, that was Buck Rogers. You're right. Damn it. See, I was so young, it all blended together. I just remember my dad would go beady, 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 and it would make me laugh so hard. Take mama for the cookie. Oh, yeah. Man, my Voldemort was a big Loretta Lynn fan. And so that was my indoctrination, was that relationship. And that's something I took from them. We gave each other that in the divorce. Pink Floyd and Loretta Lynn. Thank you. And moving on. 2000, the Miami Dolphins retire jersey number 13 for Dan Marino. 2005, number one hit in the land, Kanye West, Gold Digger. And I remember bumping the shit out of that in my 4Runner driving around Texas. Good stuff. Who knows who was sampled on that record, on that track, Gold Digger? Who was it? It's Ray Charles. And in 2011, the number one hit in the land was Adele, Someone Like You. You like that song? I like Adele. She's talented. You know who else is talented, though? Oh, you know it. Oh, I can hear him in the back. Yes, Stone, 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 Stone. I know it's a track, but I did it for you. All right. Stone Richards, ladies and gentlemen. Weatherlord. Weatherlord, 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 Weatherlord. Warenberg. All right. The Weatherlord speaketh, and he saith, we shall top out at 94 today. Sunny skies, low of 65 tonight. Tomorrow, 94, sunny skies, low of 65 tomorrow night. Friday, 92, partly sunny. Low Friday night around 65, but a 30% chance overnight, late Friday night into Saturday morning. And then we're just going to kind of have a 20-30% chance of some showers and thunderstorms popping up throughout the weekend. But don't let that taint your weekend plans. Saturday's high about 89, Sunday about 87, Monday 87 as we kick off the work week. So a pretty decent weekend ahead. Humidity staying low. It's amazing and surprising that second summer is more like a summer that I would be okay with. Why can't we get that all summer? You know? Instead of the swamp nuts crap that we dealt with. But I digress. Stone, you're right. We must get on with the movie. All right. Stone Richards, ladies and gentlemen, sir, enjoy your stay at the East Perry Community Fair this weekend. Stone is going to be showing his sheep. How do you get him to stand so still, Stone? Stone Richards, ladies and gentlemen, one the only. All right, what's next on the menu? Oh, let's get some monkey cakes. It's Brekkie Bits time. What's going on in the news these days? Hi-ho, Daddario, the farmer and Adele, the farmer and Adele, the farmer and Adele. If it's like somebody, I wanna like you. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. Oh, I'm glad you picked it up. Hey, guess what? Publishers Clearinghouse is bankrupt. And you probably have seen a little buzz about this here and there, Publishers Clearinghouse is not paying out. Here's the deal. CNN reporting, Publishers Clearinghouse's bankruptcy is leaving winners without their promised money. Some people who won $5,000 a week for life in Publishers Clearinghouse. The people actually did win that, but guess what? Now they're struggling to make ends meet because they're not getting payments. Some of the winners haven't worked for 10 years because they're making $5,000 a week for life. Fucking yeah, I wouldn't work either. Unless it was me, my business, and you got to have sustainability. But $5,000 a week for life. This will never go away, right? Well, many have not received their annual $260,000 check. ARB Interactive, which is the company that acquired Publishers Clearinghouse's assets, ARB Interactive won't be honoring prizes that were won before July 15th of this year. Meaning if you won anything prior to July 15th, 2025, up your ass with broken glass, says ARB, or whoever it is. ARB Interactive. Publishers Clearinghouse had an annual revenue of $854 million in 2017. They made $854 million in 2017. 6 years later, $182 million, a fraction. Now the company has liabilities between $50 and $100 million, and they have no more than $10 million in assets. That is very unfair. What do? You take it face down in the snow, no lube. That's what you do, and you have to pray to God. And that's the thing, man. Those people are struggling to make ends meet, and they've been making $5,000 a week for 10 plus years. Your ends should meet. Less grasshopper, more ant. All right. More importantly, legendary actor, director, environmentalist, baseball player Robert Redford passed away yesterday at the age of 89. And it's inevitable when our big screen icons pass away, right? It's just going to happen. Robert Redford, though, man, The Natural, as a kid, that baseball movie, psh. And it's a little dark, but, I was a mature kid, I guess. But Robert Redford's been in so much. And for y'all little youngins that are sharing Robert Redford memes and you don't know what they're about, you better figure it out. Robert Redford. What else? King Charles. Yeah, the king still exists. King Charles attended the funeral for the Duchess of Kent's funeral yesterday, and that's the first time that a ruling king has attended a Catholic service in several hundred years. And y'all thought you were bad only making it to Easter. However, Queen Camilla did not attend due to an acute illness. So, homewrecker. Prince William and Princess Kate were also there. There's your royals news. I don't give a shit about any of the royal stuff. No offense. Not the people. Help everybody be good people. But I just don't. I'd rather chew this open. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray says the state is filing 7 charges against Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old arrested in the state's investigation into Kirk's assassination at the Utah Valley University last week. That's all the news I got on that. Sammy Hagar is heading back to Las Vegas for a new residency, so if you want to catch the Van Hagar, whatever, his Best of All Worlds show will melt your face at the Dolby Live at Park MGM starting next March. Hey, Sammy Hagar's good, man. Not my favorite. With no lube, Fred. And that's the important part. Not even a Haktua. A collection of Sacagawea gold coins. Remember when they did the Sacagawea gold coins? A collection of them, including 7 that flew in orbit on a NASA space shuttle and have been stored at Fort Knox. This collection has sold at an auction for $3.28 million. How many dollar coins was it? 328 million of them. No, not nearly that many, but that's big bucks. Wow. Saturday Night Live will begin its 51st season on October the 4th, if you care. And Ford is going to relocate their headquarters for the first time in 70 years, all of 3 miles down the road from what it currently is in the Glass House in Dearborn, Michigan. So there you go. No, he can't. And he likes more tequila. More tequila. No, it's Mas Tequila. It sounds cooler. All right, Brekkie Monkey Cakes time is over. We are going to talk about some crap that used to be just our day-to-day. You know, things that were totally normal a few decades ago. And then today, when we talk about them, the younglings are like, what? You had to do what? Yeah, it's the truth. Look at this dude. This is like 1993 going through airport security. Probably got a razor blade in his ass and nobody even knows it. All right. So a couple of things. If you've traveled to Washington, D.C., perhaps to view the White House or, you know, to check out just the history and Washington, D.C., make a little tour stop. You probably have wanted to go, you know, go right through Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House, and you know that that's closed off and you know, you can't drive through there for security reasons. It's like everybody's pretty much like, well, yeah, duh. Before 1995, and I'll blame Wesley Snipes for this, before 1995, Pennsylvania Avenue was open to cars. You could drive your ass just meep, meep, wave at the president if he was out there sunning on the roof or whatever. Yep. Back in the day, both Disneyland and Walt Disney World required actual physical tickets for each ride. Tickets for each ride. Can you imagine? What a bottleneck. It wasn't until 1986 that Disneyland began being open 365 days a year. They used to close up. Now they're like 7-Eleven, I guess. I don't really know. I've never been. The TSA did not exist before the September 11th attacks in 2001. TSA wasn't a thing, just like Space Force. TSA, very much a thing, right, in the last 24 years. Transportation Security Administration. The technical seizing. Okay, it used to be possible to walk right up to the airport gate without a ticket. And I remember this because when my dad would go on Navy trips on, we'd take him to the airport and we could go kiss him goodbye and watch, you know, as kids, you could look out the window and watch Opa or watch Dad go get on the plane and you know, watch Dad's plane and wave it off. That was a thing as we were kids, you know. And when they'd debark from the plane, we'd be right there to greet them, you know, with all the little sign and stuff, which you can kind of still do. But it was way simpler. It was just way simpler. No, that was, Galaxy Quest. But it's basically the same thing. They did make a Space Force movie with Steve Carell, right? I never saw it, or a show or something, I don't know. We love our drive-thrus, right? Easy convenience, picking up fast food, or here in the heartland, we're in an anomaly, and we have drive-through gas stations. Like, go get a 44-ounce Coke or whatever, and just roll through there, get some smokes, whatever you need. We have drive-through gas stations. And it wasn't really until I moved out of the area that I realized, holy shit, that's a thing. Like Cardinals players from out of state they're like, oh yeah, I don't know what it is. I'd never seen this before until I got into this area in Missouri. But now we have drive-through gas stations. I don't have to get out of my car. No, you don't. Bruh, you don't. And fast food has it forever, right? No, McDonald's did not have drive-thrus in their restaurant until 1975. It went the whole first 10 plus years of existence. Oh, that's a great fucking idea. Oh, and we'll put a sign up out with a big clown face or something. Let's see. Oh, shit, it's 8:05. We got to get cooking. What else? Yeah, that's a dumb one. Before, we had the recording capabilities that we do, like even just DVDs, but YouTube, streaming, all that kind of stuff, that has enabled us to keep things perpetually, right? Before that, a lot of old cartoons, TV shows, they could just simply disappear. And there's an archivist, this lady that had recorded hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of stuff on VHS. I don't remember the backstory. We'll have to dig that one out maybe for a deep dive one day. But hers has been used in the National Archives to archive a lot of the old things that just didn't exist. So if you have a grandma that hoarded VHSs and record Guiding Light all the time, shit, you might want to hook that up. What else? People smoked inside a lot. And it's rare if you find it, right? It's usually a smoke shop or hot shots or something terrible. And you want to smoke, do your thing. I don't like cigarette smoke at all. And I've smoked cigarettes for a while. No. Cigars, yeah. Pipes, okay. But cigarette smoke, bleh. But regardless, you could smoke anyway. You could. I guarantee you, this building, people smoked in here. There was probably nervous ass. Did Rush Limbaugh smoke? Because when his ass was in Cape, he was probably like, "Hey, robble, 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 oh, fucking robble, 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 robble." I don't know. But you always saw like madmen. They're all sitting around. Hey, we got to come up with this campaign here. Before universal barcodes, right? The scanners, before that crap, supermarket cashiers had to type in every price by hand. And before Aldi finally jumped over into the digital universe and started using scanners, the ladies at Aldi had to know the price of every motherfucking thing in that store. Pardon my MF bomb, but it was serious business. If you were an Aldi cashier in the 80s, you should be in charge of our defense systems or something like that. Our government, run the IRS. Because all these checkout ladies knew all that shit. And then they had to know what was on sale, and how to bust out the... Man, that was some serious job. I bet you didn't make squat either. Let's take a moment of silence for all the former Aldi's cashiers that had to rock that shit manual. Dear God, do you love me? All right. Smoking section at Denny's. Oh, man, yes. And in Huddle House here locally, too. The Denny's smoking section, man, that was... many adventures were had. Especially after shows. What else? Libraries used to keep big collections of newspapers and magazines. You could go look up the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue from 1987 if you wanted. Then a lot of that was digitized, put on microfiche and microfilm back in the 80s and started transferring that into digital. And now you can go find it in the interwebs. Yeah, it was serious business, Alicia. That's what I'm saying. It was a whole different world. Good morning, Rick. May the sun shine upon your forehead today. Tss. Give you a little sheen. What else? Well, in Hollywood threw away a lot of shit. They didn't see a lot of value in preserving old costumes, props, or set pieces versus today, where a lot of those things are taken and auctioned. And a lot of times they just let the actors or actresses or stunt people keep the props or the grips or whoever. It's like, hey, we gonna do anything with this alien head thing? Nah, we're gonna shave that up, recycle it, and use it for Swamp Man. Cool if I take it? Yeah. And then 45 years later, puts it on fucking auction for gazillions of dollars. Anyway, just some randomness. Let's get some weird news in here real quick. It is 9 minutes after 8 a.m. Ahoy! Look at that mustache. Oh, you know what I didn't find out was who won the mustache and beard contest at the SEMO District Fair. You know what? Let's see if it's on the SEMO Fair Facebook page. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. There we go. Your 2025 Mustache Contest winners. First place, Donnie LeGrand. Second place, Hunter Lawrence. And third place, John Losel. First year doing it. Let's take a look. Here's your first place winner. I'm going to give him props. That is a nice looking mustache, sir. All right, that's your first place winner. Let's see if I can get the second place guy. Here's our second place winner. Got a good dark vibe going on there. Mustache looking on point. Who did we have judges? We had Steve Maintz and James Macklin. Oh, J-Mac. J-Mac was a judge. J-Mac has got a bald-ass face, though. And here we go. There we go. That's the photo I'm looking for. That's the money shot. There we go. And see, look at those nice rosettes that they gave him. You know, for what it's worth, I did enter a photo in this year's SEMO District Fair. I did not place with my photo. It was one of those random little, might as well. Well, that's cool. Congratulations, fellas. Have you heard of a cannibal sandwich? I know it's actually called something. John McGowan would know what it's called, but cannibal sandwiches has become the moniker for this, which is really gross to me because it's not. It's not a cannibal thing. It's more of a primal sandwich. It should be called the primal sandwich. Winner gets a free ride. Whoop. The Daily Mail says that cannibal sandwiches are trending on TikTok. It's nasty shit. Not going to lie. I'm not a fan. Now, the flavors that are involved, it just needs to be cooked. The tradition is rooted in German cuisine, of which I am genetically particular. It is popular in Wisconsin, home of spotted cow and other amazing only in Wisconsin kind of moments. But the sandwich is raw beef, minced the shit up. Basically like raw ground beef, but not tartare. Raw beef minced up on rye bread with onion on top. And then you eat that shit. And you got to make it with fresh, quality meat. Don't go to fucking Bob's grocery junker store and buy that tube meat and squirt that. That's disgusting, and you're going to get sick. You're going to get sick anyway. Consuming raw or undercooked beef, poultry, or fish could result in getting some diseases that will make your ass turn inside out. Okay? Cook your sandwich. Yeah. This is not a song, it's a sandwich. So that's trending, and that's gross. Yeah. Y'all go ahead. Do your thing. Cook it. Then it's a burger patty, and you put that onion on there and put on rye bread. You can put on whatever you want. Yum-a-dum-dum. I'm not eating raw beef. I'm not eating raw beef. Sorry. The Connecticut Post says a Bridgeport, Connecticut man named Cecil Rogers has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for robbing a man at gunpoint. I mean, at toilet paper roll point. Yeah. This guy, Cecil Rogers, came out of a restaurant bathroom with a ski mask on, came up to a man with the toilet paper roll. Give me your credit card, jewelry, and your keys. Robbed a guy because the victim thought the toilet paper roll was a gun. Let me be very clear. If you say you have a gun and you're pointing something at me, you'd better show me your gun. Because if not, I'm going to show you mine. So anyway, paper towel roll, and he's getting 5 years in jail. Now here's the thing. You know that shit's going to get through the bars and make its way into the jail, and every dude in that jail is going to know, bruh, robbed him with a cardboard paper towel tube. You know what's going to happen? He's going to be getting fake robbed in jail all the time. They're going to make fun of him. That's what you get. Cow brain sandwiches. Now, head cheese, I'm not opposed to it. I've not had it in years and years and years because it is just fucking unhealthy. Let's be honest. There's a lot of fat in head cheese. But head cheese is not bad with some mustard and some onion. You got to have the mustard, though, to knock the why am I eating this off. But we're German as hell down here. A Peoria, Illinois man was recently hospitalized after jumping from a third-story window. Was he trying to get away from a fire? No, he thought cops were coming for him. And here's the thing, they weren't. They weren't even coming for him. But the paranoia boy, the police were called to the apartment building to investigate a disturbance in a totally other spot in the building. But he saw the cops pulling up. Woo, woo, woo. And Craig Liddell was like, oh, shit. We jumped out third story window. When the cops got out of the cop's car, here's this dude laying in the freaking alley, writhing in pain because his dumb ass jumped out of a third floor window. So Craig was taken to the hospital and eventually will be taken to jail for possession of narcotics. Because when you jump around out of a window to avoid the cops, make sure you take your drugs with you. The answer is banana. And the Nottingham Post says Londoner Joshua Hart has been sentenced to 8 weeks in jail for shoplifting. He was caught on camera stuffing steaks down his pants at a grocery store. Were they ribeyes? Were they fillets? No, they were tube steaks. Hart has a history of theft convictions, and he's going to add another to it. Ba-dum-ba-bum. That is your weird news for a Wednesday. Weird Wednesday. Alliteration. Huzzah. How do you make a good first impression? Maybe you're decided, you know what, I'm going to get myself back out on the market. I got this nice spray tan. The hair plugs are working. It's time to start dating. How do I make a good first impression? Or maybe you're in the job market. Maybe you're like, man, things are going weird and south around here. I don't know. I better start sharpening up, getting my interview skill sets together. Work on my resume. That's another conversation we're not doing right now. But we're going to talk about making a good first impression. I think I told you guys this before, way back when I was looking for jobs 2011-ish, when I started at Element 74. Prior to, I interviewed a few spots. And I interviewed at one spot for, it was the Cape County Disability Board position. I don't remember what it was specifically. It's been 15 years ago. But anyway, goddamn, 15 years ago. Sorry for the GD. It was where my friend Brian worked eventually as well. But anyway, I was going in for this interview. And mind you, this was 380 maybe pound Darren then. I don't know. I was big boy, and they had these cheap, chintzy plastic chairs, right? And I'm pretty comfortable with an interview. You know, I talk about it, and I'm pretty confident going into things. So I was sitting there talking, and I kind of just slightly leaned back, and that chair went full WWE explosion. Just wow! And the whole back ass of it blew out, and I fell over backwards. It was a great first impression. Matter of fact, on the follow-up call, it was like, I said, hey, I apologize for your chair. And she said it was okay. But we had a good laugh. I laughed. If I laugh, they can laugh, right? Kind of wish it would have been on video. Jake Allen with a bullhorn. A young Dragon King version of Jake Allen with a bullhorn. Dragon King Jake. How is Jake? How is Jake? I bet Jake's okay. We miss you, Jake. Jake face. All right, so making a good first impression is important. It's essential, really, in various situations, like going on a first date or getting a job interview, like we've talked about. So some expert-backed tips to help you put your best foot forward as we hump through your Wednesday. Be prepared. Number one, be prepared. Inner Boy Scout activated. Before meeting someone new, think about what you would like to get out of this interaction. Prepare a few topics. Prepare a few questions to avoid lulls in the conversation. Like have a notebook of shit that you would say when shit gets awkward, okay, to make it not awkward. So what's your blood type? Do you have both of your kidneys? You know, just some small talk. But, you know, if you're meeting a potential friend, like maybe both of your kids play on the same team, and now you have this awkward dad moment where you're like both, you know you're going to see each other the whole fucking season, probably through the rest of high school. You don't really know anything about each other. You don't want to make new friends, do you, Darren? I like making new friends. God. Share some hilarious stories. Ask about their interests. And you know what I try to do now when I meet somebody new above anything else? Because I'm confident, you know, and I'm happy to share jokes and stories and stuff. I've had a colorful life. I share these stories with you every, 3 times a week. But I try not to be that in the conversation, you know? I'm very conscious of the one-upsmanship that comes with having a lot of fun stories to share. And I really bite my tongue to not, I've got a story for that, and then let that come out. Because I don't want to be that guy, especially as I get older. I don't want to be that guy. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy that's got the story for every situation, or I have a funny, I know how to do that because I did. You know what? We'll get there maybe someday, or they can read the book. That'll never get written. Billy, have you ever seen a grown man naked? So anyway, be prepared, though. If you're, have some questions to ask, have some stories in your backlog, some dad jokes to share. And if it's a job interview, research the company. Understand whom you want to work for. And prepare some relevant questions from your side of the table. Because they're going to ask you. Okay, so that's the gist of it. We're going to take a look at all of our candidates and make some calls back for a second round interview. Do you have any questions for me? If it's crickets, they're going to seem they're not going to take note of you. It's a level of disinterest. Yes, I was curious what your annual expenditures were last year versus the presented budget in the 2025 report. Now, it says here on page 7, you don't have to get that deep. But, just say, hey, is the founder of this place still alive? Can I meet him? Yes, Cliff Clavin from Cheers. Best first impression guy ever. Shit, he knows so much good stuff, but he always had a story. Oh, yeah, that reminds me that one time, dress appropriately, okay? This is not job interview attire. Not for the job you want. Ha-ha. But the jobs I want would let me wear a Weird Al shirt to work. Here we are. But people make judgments in a fraction of a second, right? Your attire matters. We all do it. We're guilty of this. We are human. We judge based on the cover appearance. We are quick to catch ourselves, hopefully most of the time, and go, she's not a hoe. She's just confident. He's not a slob. He's stoned out slob. Anyway, first date, wear something that makes you feel comfortable and confident. The 2 C's, comfortable and confident. In professional settings, opt for clean, understated clothes without wrinkles or tears, right? You're interviewing for the local library this week. Awesome, Alicia. I wish you all the luck. And so, dress like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and you'll fit in right with the library crew. Just kidding. Lots of librarians wear cool clothes every day. Dress appropriately. Arrive early. Being punctual shows that you're dependable and respectful. When you promise to meet someone at a specific time, honor that commitment. Arriving a few minutes early demonstrates discipline and reliability. I like to be places a few minutes early. If it's someplace where I'm speaking, I like to have plenty of a window before I have to engage and take off the seatbelt and jump out the window. You know what I mean? So I like to get there in plenty of time in case there's surprises or, here's one more thing we need to add in. If you could make a note, blah, 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 blah. I like to be prepared when I have to talk. I like to read through the things that I'm going to say before I have to say them, for the have to say them. The rest of the stuff in between, you wing it. Give me your bullet points. Let's rock and roll. But arrive early. We have spoken at length about body language and nonverbal communication here in the morning show. Indeed, go get 'em. Rawr. Claws out, tiger. Body language, nonverbal signals. These convey a lot of information about you and from you to the people who... Indeed, go get 'em. Rawr. Claws out, tiger. Information about... First. For the first time. Maintain good posture. Make eye contact. Smile. These cues reinforce the impression that you want to create. Hi, I'm confident. My name is Darren, and I have a bald head. Don't wink at them unless you think you might get a wink back. Body language, okay? Important. Watch your expressions in the midst of body language, okay? Pay attention to your facial expressions. And I do this because I kind of have a resting bitch face. That's my face most of the time when I'm just still. So I kind of look pissed off. So pay attention to your facial expressions. Smiling, showing interest can go a long way. Avoid frowning, eye rolling, Oh my God, boomer. Okay? No. And choose your words wisely. He chose poorly. Be mindful of what you say. Positive, kind words leave a lasting impact. Avoid controversial or offensive topics during initial interaction. Hey, look, any first impressions I'm making here today, that's what I'm going for as well. I avoid that shit like the plague because I don't like to talk about it. It does not interest me to dip my dick into the tea, whether political or social. I don't like it. I don't. 80% of what I'm going to tell you is to help you grow and become a better person and spread positivity. And the other 20% is good, authentic, Midwestern bullshit dug straight from the farm. C'est magnifique. Okay? But choose your words wisely when you're making that first impression. You know? Maybe not, hey, nice to meet you, let's go Brandon. Hey, nice to meet you, fuck Trump. Okay? Whatever it is, just keep it to yourself. People always think you're mad at something. It's a curse. You were born this way. It's okay, Dennis. My daughter has Santa Cristo resting bitch face. Like hers is just pure. I have some of the best RBF photos of my daughter on the volleyball court. She just looks like she's going to gut somebody. I love it. I hope that works well for her when she parents someday. All right. And finally, last tip here in making first impressions is to show interest in others. Active listening, something else we've talked about in the past. It is crucial. Nod along. Restate in summary what you just heard them say. Genuinely engage in the conversation. Give it a little stir, Dennis. Ooh. Nope. Showing interest in others makes you more likable, makes you more memorable, and especially in those job interviews, it shows them that you're actively listening. And if you're somebody like me who's doing the interview and I have studied and understand this, I'm looking for that from you. That's one of the qualities I'm looking for in somebody I want to hire. You're an active listener. So when I tell you something and we go through it together and I work through that, you take some notes maybe, but you're still listening and you're engaging, I don't have to teach you that shit twice. Okay? So there you go. It is time for your warm and fuzzies. It is 8:28. We are cooking through our Wednesday morning show. Something for the ladies. I know. Gratuitous chest hair. Look at that treasure trail. This is like the reverse of the Janet Jackson Rolling Stone cover, where her husband at the time was behind her with his hand on her jugs. It was on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Remember that one? Yeah, I do too. Was it like 2000 or something like that when she did that? That's it. Wow, chicka, wow, wow. Yep. I'm hairy, but my chest looks a little different. It's a bit paler, a bit odder. All right, warm and fuzzy time. New cop sworn in. Check this out. The Detroit News says the Oakland County, Michigan Sheriff's Department have deputized an 8-week-old Cavalier King Charles named Buddy. He's joining their Comfort Canine unit. Buddy is on duty at International Technical Academy in Pontiac Middle School and Pontiac High School, spreading joy and calm and encouragement. Yeah, Buddy's working with an SRO doing the thing in the schools. Sheriff Michael Bouchard initiated the program to help ease stress and anxiety within the community. Buddy and other comfort dogs visit schools and events to provide support during emotional situations. I think that's awesome. I think that's a great idea. And think about that for the context of a grade school kid that maybe found out, that somebody in the family that had been sick passed away, or somewhere there's this crisis need for that emotional support. Having that little doggo there to help that comfort, that's something that we can't do. That's something that a uniformed officer can't do. It's a different level, right? So that's good stuff. They were going to deputize a cat, but he flipped him off with his claw and took off and stole a sandwich. ABC says, that's it, Dennis. It's a downhill. It's gravity, really. It's gravity. Like, mine just went, and then the neck transition the neck beard to the chest beard, and I'm still fortunate that I have lighter colored hair, so I don't have like the incredibly dark back hair where you could like shave a bowling pin into it like Brian Davidson never did. ABC says Lexington, Kentucky firefighters recently rescued a dog from an intense house fire. The firefighters rushed into the home, grabbed the little bugger before reuniting it with its owner. They were able to bring the blaze under control minutes later, but they saved the little doggo. Thank you, firefighters, from the owner and from all of us who love little doggos, or maybe just tolerate them. And finally, NBC says a Chesterton, Indiana. Not sure where Chesterton is. I'm unfamiliar with that. A Chesterton, Indiana man recently met his big sister for the first time in 80 years. Ron Achtertoff discovered sister Gillian Tarland of England through a genealogy website. DNA testing confirmed their relationship. His father was serving overseas when he got a woman pregnant. That woman delivered Gillian in the UK. The father returned to the United States. The war's over. Congratulations. And Ron was baby number 2. Met his big sister, though, for the first time in 80 years. It's pretty wild. And that's your warms and fuzzies on this beautiful National Apple Dumpling Day. Get your apple dumpling on and have a beignet, too, while you're at it. Why not? Go ahead. Diabetes up. Knock yourself out, sugarhead. Happy Wednesday. Have a great day. I really hope you have a great day. It's a busy day. Like I said, I appreciate prayers up for my sister. She's going to be going in for foot surgery. They're putting some cadaver tissue in her foot, and so she's going to have a zombie foot. It's going to be really fucking cool for Halloween. She's going to paint that just by itself on her toes. It'll be little horns or something. I don't know. But we wish her the best of luck this morning. And any of you guys that are just needing it, feel the glove, feel the prayers, all that stuff up for you, all right? Have a great Wednesday. Enjoy your hump day. Enjoy the weather. Be a nice human. I will see y'all Friday morning.